Do you actually show your cat you love them every day? You probably think you do, but here's what nobody tells you. Most of the ways we express love to our cats mean absolutely nothing to them. In fact, some of the things you do daily, convinced you're being a wonderful owner, might actually be pushing your cat further away. These 7 things take less than a minute each, but once you start doing them, your cat won't just trust you, they'll genuinely love you back. Let's begin with the one most people get completely wrong. 1. Talk to your cat the way you'd talk to a baby. Have you ever noticed how your voice changes the instant you start talking to your cat? That high, soft, slightly ridiculous tone you would never use in public? Most people feel embarrassed about it. But here's the thing. Science says you should actually be doing it even more. A 2022 study from the University of Paris found that cats can genuinely tell the difference between their owner's voice and a stranger's voice, but only when the owner used that soft, high-pitched baby tone. When owners spoke in their normal adult voice, their cats barely reacted. But the moment they switched to that warm, exaggerated tone, their cats perked up, turned their heads, and even moved closer. That means your cat isn't simply hearing noise, they're recognizing you. And it only clicks when you speak to them the way you'd speak to someone you genuinely adore. So every single day, when you walk past your cat, when you feed them, when you catch them staring at you from across the room, talk to them, say anything. The words don't matter. What matters is the tone. Soft, warm, gentle. That voice tells your cat something no other form of communication can. You are safe with me, and if you think this is powerful, wait until we get to number 7. Because there's one specific spot on your cat's body that triggers something even deeper than your voice ever could. 2. This 3-second look makes your cat feel safe. Have you ever caught your cat staring at you and then slowly closing their eyes? Most people assume their cat is simply drowsy. They're not. That slow blink is one of the most deliberate and intentional things a cat can do, and it's directed specifically at you. Researchers at the University of Sussex tested this in 2020. They found that when owners slow blinked at their cats, the cats were significantly more likely to slow blink back and even approach them afterward. Cats who received slow blinks from strangers also responded positively, but the effect was most powerful with their own owners. That tiny gesture literally changed how the cat felt about the person standing in front of them. Think about that. No treat, no toy, no belly rub. Just 3 seconds of eye contact, followed by a slow, deliberate blink, and your cat reads it as, "I'm not a threat. I love you." Here's what makes this such a powerful daily habit. Most of us stare at our cats without realizing that in cat language, direct eye contact with no blink is a challenge. It's confrontational. So every time you lock eyes with your cat and don't blink slowly, you might be sending the exact opposite message of what you actually feel. Make this part of your daily routine. Every morning, every evening, whenever your cat meets your eyes. Slow blink. Let your eyelids drop gently and hold for just a moment. When they blink back, that's your cat saying, "I trust you with my life." 3. Most owners bore their cats without ever realizing it. Have you ever dangled a toy in front of your cat and watched them stare at it like you were embarrassing yourself? That's not your cat being lazy. That's your cat being completely bored out of their mind, and it's happening in millions of homes every single day. Here's what most owners don't realize. Cats are hardwired hunters. Their brains are built to stalk, chase, pounce, and catch. That entire sequence is everything to them. But when you wave a toy back and forth in the same spot at the same speed, you're skipping every single step that makes play feel real to a cat. The trick is to make the toy behave like actual prey. Drag it away from your cat, not toward them. Let it disappear behind a corner, make it freeze, then dart. Move it in unpredictable, erratic bursts. When your cat crouches low and their pupils go wide, that's when you know you've activated something primal. And here's the part nobody ever talks about. A cat who gets a real hunt every day doesn't just stay physically healthy. They become calmer, more affectionate, and more deeply bonded to the person who gives them that experience. You become the source of their most fundamental instinct being fulfilled. That's not just fun. That's love in a language your cat was born speaking. 5 to 10 minutes a day is all it takes. But those minutes have to feel real. Stop shaking the toy like it's a chore. Start moving it like something genuinely worth catching. Your cat will never look at you quite the same way again. 4. Just sit next to your cat and watch what happens. What if the most powerful thing you could do for your cat every day required absolutely nothing from you? Most owners believe that bonding means petting, playing, or giving treats. So when they sit on the couch while their cat is across the room, they feel like nothing meaningful is happening. But something enormous is happening. Your cat is watching. And the simple fact that you're nearby without demanding anything from them is communicating something louder than any treat ever could. In the wild, cats only rest near other cats they fully and completely trust. They don't cuddle to express affection the way dogs do. They share space. That's it. And that quiet act of simply existing together is one of the strongest bonds cats form with one another. When you sit near your cat without reaching for them, without calling their name, without trying to make something happen, you're telling them, I don't need anything from you. I just want to be here. And for a cat, that's everything. You'll start noticing something if you do this every day. At first, your cat might keep their distance, but over time, that distance gets smaller. They'll move into the same room, then onto the same couch, then right beside you, not because you asked, because they chose you. And in the world of cats, being chosen is the highest form of love there is. So tomorrow, try it. Sit down, read a book, scroll your phone, do whatever you normally do. Just let your cat exist near you with zero pressure. What happens next might genuinely surprise you. 5. Never touch your cat before doing this. How do you greet your cat when you walk into a room? Be honest. Do you simply reach down and start petting them? If so, you've been skipping a step your cat has been waiting for you to learn your entire life. Cats don't experience the world through sight first. They experience it through scent. Every single interaction your cat has begins with their nose. When two bonded cats greet each other, they don't just walk up and start grooming. They touch noses first. That tiny exchange of scent is essentially a cat handshake. It says, I know you. You're safe. Now think about what happens when you skip that entirely and go straight for the head scratch. To your cat, it's like someone you barely recognize walking up and hugging you without any warning. It's not painful, but it's jarring. And over time, it teaches your cat to flinch instead of lean in. Here's the daily habit. Every single time you're about to pet your cat, extend one finger first. Hold it a few inches from their nose and let them come to it. Let them sniff. Let them take a moment to process you. When they push their face into your hand or rub their cheek against your finger, that's your green light. That's your cat saying, okay, I'm ready. This takes 2 seconds, but those 2 seconds completely transform how your cat experiences your touch. You shift from being someone who pets them to someone who asks first, and cats never forget the people who ask first. 6. Stop picking up your sleeping cat right now. Can you honestly say you've never scooped up your sleeping cat simply because they looked too adorable to resist? We've all done it. They're curled up in that perfect little ball, looking completely peaceful, and something in your brain says, I need to hold that right now. But what feels like love to you feels like something entirely different to your cat. Cats sleep between 12 and 16 hours a day, and that's not because they're lazy. It's because sleep is how their body recovers, processes stress, and regulates their entire nervous system. Deep sleep, in particular, is when your cat feels the most vulnerable. Their guard is completely down. Their muscles are fully relaxed. They chose that specific spot because they felt safe enough to disappear from the world for a while. Now, imagine what happens when you interrupt that. Your cat is in their most defenseless state, and suddenly they're being lifted into the air with no warning whatsoever. Their heart rate spikes, their claws come out, and even if they settle into your arms a few seconds later, something has already been registered. That spot isn't as safe as they believed. Do this enough times and you'll notice something subtle beginning to happen. Your cat starts sleeping in harder to reach places. Under the bed, on top of shelves, behind furniture. They're not being antisocial. They're protecting their sleep from the one person who keeps disrupting it. The daily habit here is the simplest one on this entire list. When your cat is asleep, walk past them. 7. One spot on their body unlocks everything. Remember back in number 1 when I mentioned there's one spot on your cat's body that triggers something deeper than your voice ever could. This is it, and once you know this, you'll never pet your cat the same way again. When deeply bonded cats groom each other, something called allogrooming. They don't lick just anywhere. They focus almost exclusively on one area, the base of the head, right between and just behind the ears. That's the one spot a cat can never reach on their own. So the only way they ever get groomed there is by someone they trust completely. That's what makes this spot unlike any other place you touch your cat. The belly is vulnerable. The chin feels pleasant, but the area between the ears and down the back of the head is something else entirely. It's reserved. It's family only. When another cat grooms this spot, it releases oxytocin in both animals, not just the one being groomed. Both of them. It's a chemical bond that says, we belong to each other. And here's what most owners completely miss. You can trigger that exact same response every single day. Take a few seconds to gently stroke that spot between your cat's ears with your fingertips. Don't scratch, don't rub firmly. Gentle, slow, repetitive strokes. The same rhythm another cat's tongue would naturally use. Watch what happens. Your cat's eyes will close slowly. Their body will soften completely. Their purr will shift into something deeper and more resonant than what you hear during an ordinary pet. That's not just comfort. That's your cat's brain releasing the exact same chemical it would release in the presence of a bonded family member.